Hey guys, it's me Ryan, and oh my god, it is so freaking cold right now. But today we're gonna warm ourselves up with some Jujutsu Kaisen. Yes, sir, baby. It is Sunday, and it is time where we shall check out the official chapter 205 that definitely did not leak on Twitter like 5 days ago. And yeah, I kind of hate when that happens. It's so bizarre. Like I keep waiting for Sunday for them to like release the official scans and stuff, and then it just leaks on Twitter with some, uh, people translating it in wrong ways sometimes, and it still leaks, and people are still hyped and they're talking about it. But then by the time Sunday comes, the entirety of the hype is just gone. So I don't know how my videos are gonna do from now on, and if you guys will still be interested in them. But I really don't want to react to whenever the leaks drop. I want to react to the official things. So here we are now, and let's get ready. Where did we end last? Oh right, Yuko. Yuko shows up. Okay, Choso is beaten up badly. Is my light flickering? There's some issue with my. Yeah, I think it's okay now. Yeah. So, last chapter, we saw Yuko pull up. She apparently knows Kenjaku's curse technique now, which I don't know if it was explicitly shown in the manga yet, but we shall see. Hmm. I like the whole robotic swan dragon thing that she's going on. Special grade Sumoko tags in, Chozo tags out. Oh, she is special grade, right? I forget. I keep forgetting. S- Why do I keep calling it Sumoko? It's Sukumo, right? Sukumo. Damn, that's a nice shot of Choso. Looks like my man got his haircut mid-fight. Nice fight. Now leave the rest to me. Geto's just pissed. Oh, Choso just falls down. My God, bro is exhausted. Okay, understandable. But my man got a did my man get a haircut mid-fight or like what is going on? Oh, so he literally drops down out of the domain. Nice. That's kind of cool. Yuko's just happy to be there. Wydam is a hard-working, muddy guy. Chozo just keeps falling. You though, I'll have to beat you up. The veins, bro. She's like bodybuilder. Damn. Maybe there's just veins from like cursed energy surging through them. I guess. Until you're the same, Tsukumo Yuki. I'll have to beat you up until you're a muddy guy. Okay, fine. Okay. But see, I'm not sure about this. Like, I watched JJK Zero. There's the reaction on my channel, and isn't Tsukumo? I mean, wasn't Tsukumo working with Geto at one point, like in the JJK Zero movie? Like, wasn't that woman her? I don't know. I'm really not sure, but I think it is her. Since they gave her the special grade designation, the administration should have information on her curse technique. Despite that, I haven't been able to get it from them. Oh, so this is Ghetto speaking, huh? Keep your distance, thank you. Oh, something just rips apart from her, rips the fabric of reality and shows up. That cursed spirit is imported, right? A curse from an Asian god. Oh, Ganesh! So it is an Asian god. Right, that makes sense. That can remove any obstacles. Yes, a special great cursed spirit. One that can entangle a concept with its technique's target, huh? So it is Lord Ganesh. Ganesha, whatever you want to call it. He is, for those of you who don't know, he is supposed to be the god of wealth and prosperity, I think. I don't know. But I think they're using it as a curse spirit here because, so many people believe in it that they just manifested it into existence, and they believe in them and they pray to the god to remove any obstacles, like it says over here. So that kind of makes sense. This is a really amazing design on Lord Ganesh. I haven't seen this ever. Like forearms, fine, but there's like these black bands and this clothing going on, and also the eyes are kind of funky. It's really freaking cool. Please show me what you can do. Is that the curse speaking or is that Ghetto speaking? I can't tell. Oh, this thing rolls up into a ball, huh? Garuda! Wait, Garuda? That's an Indian thing as well. The kanji says phoenix wheel, but the furigana reads Garuda, a giant, yeah, a giant divine bird seen in both Hindu and Buddhist mythology, not to be confused with the Western phoenix. Yeah. I want to tell you guys a really fun mythological fact here. I was watching Ancient Aliens the other day, and they were like repeating old episodes, and they were talking about this one fight that happened in Hindu mythology between the Garudas and the Nagas. That's like a fight between um, a divine bird fight between a group of divine birds or like bird-like people and reptilian-like people or like snake people. And it's crazy how that fight is like such an important part in Hindu mythology, but pieces of you know carvings and rock statues have been found depicting that fight in South America. So like I'm just saying something happened back in the day and it happened all over the world and maybe all religions are the same, who knows? So she rolls it up into a ball and says Garuda. I don't know how that thing is supposed to turn into. She's playing football. What is this? I know it's FIFA time, but come on, bro. She kicks it and my man gets one-shotted. Um, uh, what? Kenjaku does not see that coming. Are you afraid to get close because you don't know my technique? Guess I'll just tell you. Oh, okay, finally. It's mass. Okay, interesting. Very vague term, but I guess her attacks hit with like extreme force. I love her drip. Like this is her official jujutsu drip, and it's like freaking cropped up. That's nice. It's mass. Okay. So what is she doing over here? She's punching in the face right now. Damn, Kenjaku can't even block it. Okay, all right. Oh, my guy went flying a couple times. Holy crap. Okay, okay, okay. How big is this place? I forget, like, this is, like, all of this is taking place inside a domain of, like, infinite size or something. I don't know. My man got wrecked. I think this is the first time we've seen Kenjaku get violated this badly. I am recording right, yeah. The camera, okay, I don't know. I purposely kept the lighting a bit low. I don't know. Like sometimes the light looks fine on the OBS and sometimes it doesn't, so I'm just like, yeah, whatever. My man got violated and oh, did he break through the veil? Did he break through the wall of the domain outside? That hit me so hard it tore a hole in the Sunyata barrier circular definition. Yeah, I know, right? Mas, huh? Oh, his arm got wrecked and his brain juices are leaking. My God. That's the technique's target concept. Such overwhelming mass to a point that its concept couldn't be contained semantically or pragmatically. My God, those are some big words. See end of chapter notes, sure. Yep, that's my curse technique. Imbuing virtual mass into myself. Bombay! Oh my God. She plays Valorant. Like, I don't even know if that phrase originated in Valorant, but she says Bombay. She's Killjoy confirmed. Okay, cool. And Garuda is a Shikigami that has been turned into a cursed tool by my curse technique. Huh. That does not look like a Garuda. That's more like you could have called it a Nag. and it would have been fine. It looks more snake-like than eagle-like, bro. It's the only other target of Bombay besides me. Kanji reads Wrath of the Star, but Furigano reads Bombay. Finish him, yeah. Finish him! She hasn't gotten any slower, so can I assume the added mass has no real effect on the sorcerer? Oh, he just heals himself up. Of course he does. Since she can ignore concepts, then none of the high-grade spirits I have left after Shibuya are usable. And just by myself, is it even possible to hunt this wild beast? Damn! Oh, she's awesome. She's awesome. Okay. I can see why they were holding her powers back. Like it might have been because Akutami hadn't figured it out yet, but it's really cool to keep her in mystery. Because there were so many characters while reading JJK Zero that I said, dude, I want to know more about him. I want to know more about her. I want to know more about them, and they just never really explained it. And then like 50 chapters later, they do it. So I'm like, bro. I mean, I don't know if the audience is gonna wait for that long, but that's good. That's really good. Is it even? It's gravity. That was gravity. Oh, interesting. Kenjaku has some other curse technique besides curse manipulation and the body hopping technique, and that must be gravity. Huh? Wait, what? The curse techniques extracted by Uzumaki, okay, called back to Jujutsu Zero, like I said, have only been single use only since he didn't use the idol transfiguration that has already been revealed to me. Considering that Kenjaku can use reverse curse technique, oh, he can, right, I keep forgetting. It's unlikely he'd waste a single use technique on such a situation. Okay, so no Uzumaki. So Kenjaku's third curse technique must be gravity. How are you figuring this out? Hold up. He could have collected more curse techniques extracted by Uzumaki, but that's unlikely. If you don't have an external storage mechanism like Okotsu-kun, you'll overload your brain's memory. Oh, interesting. But let's assume he has a fourth curse technique in the worst case. He has four curse techniques? My god. Considering Jujutsu Text's definition of special grade, Tsukumo Yuki might even have an extension technique with high cursed energy output as a trump card. So this is him thinking. Huh. What a pain. I love it. According to the plan, I'll get Kenjaku to expand his domain. Oh, damn. Next, I'll back him into the corner once the after effect of domain expansion takes hold and he enters the state in which it is hard to use gust techniques. My tongue is fumbling with words right now. Even if I'm in the same state, I still have Garuda, so I can win. To get his plan to work, I'll have to chip away at Kenjaku, reducing the intensity of his domain as much as possible. No, no, our curse techniques aren't suited for fighting each other, but you still haven't expanded the domain. You're practically confessing that you don't have faith in your own ability to win a domain battle. Bro, are we gonna see Kenjaku's domain expansion? Damn! Oh, she is shocked. Domain expansion. All, all enveloping Garbhadhatu. That's again Indian term. My God, Garbhadhatu. I think Garbh means womb, and Dhatu means like metal or earth. I don't quite know. Like I hold up. Let me just check. One sec. Dhatu meaning. Yeah, dhatu means metal. So and garbh would mean like womb, right? Garbh meaning in English. Uh, yeah, pregnancy or like womb. Huh, interesting. All enveloping garbhadhatu. So like an all enveloping womb made of metal or like metallic womb. Is that Mahito's body parts in there? Yo, there's some like religious like you know oriental statue type things at the base, and there's a bunch of cursed spirit faces and wrapped around by what I assume. No, that's not Mahito. Like he doesn't have titties. That's just other bodies of like cursed users or techniques. I don't know. Tengen, now's the time. Oh, he's like, will I make it in time? Tengen is about to pull up his cards. Okay, Kenjaku quickly expands his domain. What are these two planning? Okay, we have a lot of notes over here. Sunyata. I will choose to understand the sunyata or emptiness in its basic meaning instead of its derivatives. The basic meaning should lie in philosophy and more specifically in Mahayana Buddhism. All derivative meanings of sunyata should share this basic understanding. So Mahayana Buddhism is basically um, the belief that Buddha is a reincarnation of Lord Vishnu, um, and apparently, like this was made canon in common belief because like the Brahmins, the religious head, like think of them as like the Vatican or like the Catholic people of Hinduism, right? So those guys said that, oh, Buddhism is getting really popular. Let's you know what? Let's say something. Let's tell the people this, that Buddha is basically a reincarnation of Vishnu. So that would integrate Buddhism into Hinduism. So that would get more people into Hinduism. So like really smart move, huh? So it's crazy because like even canonically, like Buddha is the last avatar of Vishnu. So I mean, I've got to say, man, those guys had brains, and like people were fooled, and I don't want to say fooled, but people believed back in the day. So and see, it's still going on. So I don't know, man. Really smart move. I might be wrong in this. Someone please be free to correct me down in the comments. I don't mean to be disrespectful to any religion, so please let me know if I'm saying something wrong. I really hope I'm getting everything right. Like that is what I was taught in briefly in some history class back when I was like a kid. But yeah. Okay, continuing. Borrowing Western philosophical terminology, sunyata slash emptiness can be understood in three ways: essence, substance, and phenomenon. Example 1. An essence of water is wetness. Because water being empty of wetness is no longer called water, so wetness is an essential property of water. Yeah. Example 2. A substance of water is hydrogen. Because water being empty of hydrogen is no longer called water, so hydrogen is a more basic substance than water. Yeah. A phenomenon of momentum is mass. Because without mass, or being empty of mass, there will be no phenomenon of momentum. So the casualty of mass, so the cause. I just burped. I'm so sorry. Excuse me. So the causality of mass is more basic than the causality of momentum. Yeah. With these examples, you can imagine if we empty out reality, we will find rock bottom ontological entities that are in the state of true sunyata slash emptiness, where they can no longer be emptied out. These entities ultimately constitute reality. In other words, through sunyata slash emptiness, we can ultimately find the basic constitution of reality. Example 4, the substance zero and the phenomenon recursion are the true sunyata slash or emptinesses of the set of real numbers. Because we can construct natural numbers from these two sunyatas alone, and from there we can construct integers. Another fun fact for those of y'all who don't know, zero was invented by Aryabhatta, an Indian mathematician. Really great guy, really dope. Like you guys can looking him up, and he's basically invented so many basic principles of math and astrology and astronomy and so many things. It's crazy. I don't know if he was involved in astrology, but I think he was in astronomy. So you guys should know the difference by now. And so on until we ultimately construct the set of all real numbers. With this, you are free to imagine what it means when Kenjaku mentioned Sunyata barrier. It could mean the basic constitution of anything inside the barrier, or it could just mean literally those polygons that constitute the barrier. Yeah, Finally, there is always the possibility of Gege wanting to express something entirely different when he uses the word sunyata. So is B.W. Davis, the Kyoto School, Madhyamaka, Nagarjuna. Damn. My god, this chapter pulled. Oh, there's more. Hold up. Pause. Pause. I gotta go and drink some water. My throat is dry. Okay, I am back. Let's continue reading. This is fun. This is really interesting. Like, they are going into deep Asian, South Asian mythology to explain things. So I'm really glad that we are getting representation in Japanese manga, man. Like, this is awesome. Circular definition. In logic and philosophy, a circular definition is the definition of a thing that uses that thing as its definition. Ah, okay, makes sense. Example, red is red. That this is a circular definition of red because it's a definition of red that uses red as its definition. That's a tongue twister. My God. Example two. Oxygen is water that has no hydrogen. This can be circular because the definition of water has the concept of oxygen in it. So it can become oxygen is something that each of its molecules contains one oxygen and two hydrogen atoms. That has no hydrogen, which is circular because it is a definition of oxygen that uses oxygen as its definition. This is some mathematical shit, man. I love it. Basically, all recursive formulas in mathematics. Like I said, although they are not entirely circular, they are defined circularly to some extent. Example, recursion in fractals like in Sierpinski triangle. Ah, you can see the constitution of this triangle is this triangle itself. It is being defined circularly. Why does this thing exist? Why does this triangle exist? I have no idea. Inside Tengen's barrier, we see multiple recurring objects like that pine tree. Yeah! So the structure inside the barrier might be defined circularly like that of the Sierpinski triangle. I hope I'm not butchering the name. So when Kenjaku said that it tore a hole in the barrier's circular definition, one could imagine the following situation. Okay, so aftermath Kenjaku outside the barrier, hole that we see outside the barrier, okay. There's like repeating trees. Where Kenjaku would have been thrown at if the barrier's circular definition had not broken. The hole that we see inside the barrier, Kenjaku's projectile, Yuki. Oh, so he's like out. Interesting. So they were fighting here. He should have been over here, like still inside the barrier, but he's like out of the whole illusion thing. Damn. The barrier's boundary shouldn't be where Kenjaku was thrown out because we can see a pine tree behind the hole. In normal circumstances, Kenjaku should have just been thrown far back without actually reaching the barrier's boundary. That punch went so hard that it broke the barrier's circularity and ultimately managed to throw Kenjaku out of the barrier. That is awesome. That is a strong power. Oh my god, there's more! Semantics and pragmatics, also known more commonly in logic and philosophy as intension and extension. I hope you guys are still sticking around. I don't know. We chose to translate these terms as semantics and pragmatics, since those are used as alternatives by some logicians as well, along with them being more commonly known in everyday language. Semantics and pragmatics are always in which we can define a concept without actually trying to define these two. Here are some examples. Ball, a solid or hollow spherical egg-shaped object. Pragmatics, the ball's at my house. Oh, okay. So semantics is like the true definition. Pragmatics is like something else you can relate to that and explain. What at my house? Yeah, even number divisible by 2. That quantity of matter in my body, your body. Yeah. Shimo, undefined. Maybe it's me. Decile, an entity that's both there, not there, unlistable. Square circle, undefinable and unlistable. JJK's virtual mass. Undefinable, at least with Ganesha's capability. So they literally call him Ganesha. Okay, interesting. Unlistable, at least with Ganesha's capability. Okay. In short, Kenjaku might mean that this virtual mass is so overwhelming that its overwhelmingness can't be defined in words or can't be conceptualized. Mark II, a concept defined pragmatically, should be the exhaustive list of which that falls under that concept. There's so much more. Virtual mass. This is the same term Gojo used to describe purple in chapter 75, where it was translated as imaginary mass. Oh, the callback! Damn! What is virtual mass? In physics, there's a concept called virtual mass where an object behaves as if it has one mass, but it actually has a different mass. That roughly mirrors the behavior of Yuki's technique. She and her Shikigami interact with the world as if they have an effective mass different from their real mass. This phenomenon is surprisingly common given the right context. Computing motion in a vacuum is easy, but when an object moves through a fluid or a charged particle moves through a metal, you have to consider the force exerted on it by what it displaces or by its interactions with the surrounding material. This is going into physics territory, and I love it because I understand everything. I hope you guys do. It turns out you can model this behavior accurately simply by assigning the object an appropriate virtual mass. What is imaginary mass? The term imaginary mass is misleading because it's also an established physics concept for a mass that becomes negative when squared. Huh. However, the established translation for that concept is that, so it seems unlikely that what the in the raw text is referring to. Perhaps Akutami sensei wasn't thinking about physics at all, though. Given what we know, virtual still seems a more accurate adjective. Something that is imaginary does not exist at all. Something that is virtual is not truly real, but it behaves as if it exists. Both Yuki's technique and Gojo's purple have a presence in the real world that makes them virtual rather than imaginary. Yeah, true, I get that. Wrath of the Star or Bombaya. Bombay comes from Bomaye, which means finish him in Lingala, and was famously chanted during Muhammad Ali's Rumble in the Jungle match against George Foreman. Japanese fans are probably more familiar with it as famous wrestler and later statesman Antonio Inoki's entrance theme Inoki Bombaye. It was originally from a Muhammad Ali biopic, but it was gifted to Antonio Inoki as a sign of respect after the match. That being said, Antonio Inoki died recently back on October 1st, so this may have been an homage to him as well. Hand seal. Kenjaku doing the eighth form of Gasso, out of the 12 forms of Gasso from ancient India. Ah, interesting. Please note in the Shin sect of Japanese Mahayana Buddhism, only the first of the 12 forms is used, which is done simply by placing the palms together at the chest level and at a 45-degree angle. So, like this? Interesting. The all-enveloping Garbhadhatu. Okay, we are getting some amazing lore. My God. And I love it that it's so derivative of Indian mythology and culture. My God. Freaking representation, man. Let's get it. What is Garbhadhatu? In short, it's a womb. Yep, knew it. A frequent motif in Japanese esoteric Buddhism is the concept of two realms, the Vajradhatu or the diamond realm, which is associated with wisdom and ultimate truth, and the Garbhadhatu or womb realm, which is associated with compassion and worldly practice. Kenjaku uses compassion. My God, what an irony. The mandala for these two realms are frequently found in Japanese temples. Oh, that is interesting. God, it is so cool that they're like Japanese mythology and Indian mythology are like intertwined. Like it's awesome. The Garbhadhatu mandala always centers Vairocana, a primary aspect of the Buddha, because it depicts the space where he revealed his great teachings to his disciple from his womb of great compassion. Okay. So like under the Bodh Gaya tree? I don't know. No, that's where he attained enlightenment. A lotus blooms around him. Yeah, it's Buddha is always depicted with a lotus around him, or like um, him seated on top of a big lotus or something. With the wisdom Buddhas, which represent surpassing human failings, seated at four cardinal directions, and the great Bodhisattvas who guide others to enlightenment, filling between them. The mandala represents a womb where we learn compassion and emerge enlightened. Damn! So this, in theory, has to be like a great move used by Kenjaku, right? Like it has to be like insanely powerful. Why all enveloping? This word is a Chinese literary phrase that literally means blanketing the countryside and figuratively means everywhere. There's a bit of negative connotation to it as it is featured in idioms such as starving corpses everywhere and disaster victims everywhere. Okay. Cool. I love that I came to know about this. That is truly enlightening, some would say. Oh, that was nice. That I was getting worried that it would get boring, but I am so glad that I got to read this. Like it explains so many things about mythology and religion and concepts that I'm not really into learning those things, but man, I'm glad that I did. I hope you guys stuck around. I really hope you guys did not get bored, but for those of y'all who did stick around, there's a little fun fact about Buddha. Um, Siddhartha Gautam, right? That's his true name. He was a regular prince who was born in Lumbini, Nepal. Nepal is like a small country on the northeastern side of India, like slightly northeastern. Like it goes really north and then slightly to the east. Um, and Nepal was once in India, so like he was kind of born in India technically, but so he was like a he lived a really lavish life and everything, and I don't quite remember the lore fully. Like his mother or his father, someone had a dream, um, which I think one of Lord Indra's elephants visited the dream or something. Like, am I mixing things up? I cannot remember. I'm so sorry if I'm messing things up, but some entity told that person in the dream that your son is gonna be a freaking amazing man in the future. So yeah, so like Gautama was Siddharth Gautam was born and he was like living the good life and everything until once like take he he wanted to visit outside his palace, right? Like he was enclosed within his palace, like because his mother and father did not want him to go away from them because it was prophesied in his dream in the mother's or the father's dream that your son would grow up to be someone really great and then they would like move away from all worldly riches and worldly family ties and everything, so they did not want that for him, and they basically built like an entire garden and everything so that he was like fully satisfied living inside the palace walls. So one day Gotham, I think he snuck out or he was led by someone, I don't quite remember, and outside the palace walls, he noticed the sorrows of man, like the sickly, the deceased, and I think he saw like three or five of these sorrows, and it took a toll on him. And um, he said he wanted to. I don't quite remember like what his main motivation was, but he wanted to free them of the sorrows. So like he was taking up knowledge about religion and everything and peace and meditation and everything. And one time he sits down next to this tree called the Bodh Gaya tree. That was in Gaia, like not in Gaia, not the Titan Gaia, like Gaya, Bodh Gaya or Bodh Gaya, I don't know how you say it. And then he sits down underneath the tree and just meditates, and that's when something clicks and he gets the enlightenment and he becomes like sort of all powerful, kind of like a godly figure, but it's mythology. It's debatable like whether he literally gained powers or not. It's kind of like this is crossing over to like Jesus Christ territory, right? Because I think Jesus, like if you kind of think about it, like Jesus was, like people say he's the son of God, but like he lived in the real world, right? So this is sort of like going into that territory. Like Gautam Buddha was an ordinary man, but through like the process of meditation and extreme concentration, he unlocked a part of his mind that like made him ascend to a higher life form essentially. And then he went about doing good things for people and everything. And after his death, like I said, the Brahmins were like, "Oh, we have a plan. Like, let's say that he was the incarnation of Vishnu, and then they've split the division into Mahayana and Hinayana. Hina means lesser, Maha means greater. So, like Hinayana Buddhism still believes that Buddha is his own thing. Like that's his own. Like he founded Buddhism, and that's its own thing, separate from Hinduism. But Mahayana, I think, is based on the belief that Buddha is basically um, an avatar of Vishnu, and it all comes under Hinduism. So, as you might have guessed, like most people followed Mahayana, and that's why it's called Maha because it's greater. So, like most of the people followed Mahayana, a lesser section follows Hinayana. I don't know if people who follow Hinayana still exist, but yeah. But then something really funky happened. Like I said, like Buddha kept traveling throughout the land, so like maybe he traveled through Japan and China and spread his teachings there, and there he was literally elevated to like God, or like over the even over the gods. Like apparently, like I was looking up some Chinese mythology, folklore and stuff, and apparently the Buddha sits at a realm that is even beyond that of the gods. Like that's crazy. Like how this man, this seemingly ordinary man, spread his faith to so many lands, and they all took his teachings up and incorporated them into their own mythology. And that is awesome. That is really awesome. But yeah, nobody knows. We weren't alive back in the day to see what actually happened, so we're just gonna have to believe what people said. And um it's really funny. Like I don't want to say funny. It's really it's a really interesting thing to think about if you think about it. But yeah, that's all I had to say. I really wanted to get that off my chest. I'm so sorry if I bored you guys, but that was JJK 205. I really enjoyed reading that. I was kind of worried, like I said, about so much exposition dump and lore dump that was going on at the end, but it all paid off. It all really paid off, and I went on a philosophical tangent. So I'm glad that that happened. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoy the video, hit the like. If you have been enjoying more of my stuff from my channel, please hit the subscribe button. It helps me a lot. Let's get to 1,000 subs by 2024. It's a dream, and I will be forever grateful to all of y'all to make that happen. I mean, not like I'm not grateful to people who just watch the videos, but please, please, please make that happen. I really want it. That being said, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Again, like, subscribe, comment down your theories, comment down any mythological lore that I got incorrect, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being here. Bye bye.